Winston Churchill was Britain's Prime Minister during its hardest time and finest hour. He will always be remembered as a war leader who led Britain and her allies to victory in World War II. He definitely went down in history, remembered as one of the most famous British people. Churchill was born on the 30th of November 1874, named Winston Spencer Churchill. He was very distant with his parents, Lord Randolph Churchill, a British statesman, and Jeanette Jerome, who was American. It is said that when his father died, Winston knew him more by reputation than any close relationship they had shared. Churchill proved to be an independent and rebellious student at school. He did very poorly and in 1888 was sent to Harwood School, a boarding school near London. Soon he joined the Harrow Rifle Corps, which was the beginning of his military career. Military seemed like a bad choice, as Winston had to try multiple times to pass his exam for the British Royal Military College. But this changed when he got in and eventually ranked 20th in his class of 130 students. Winston had a short but an eventful career in the British Army, the height of British military power. He joined the 4th Hussars in 1895, a military unit in the British Army. He saw the action of the Battle of Omdurman in 1898 from the Indian Northwest frontier. During his time in the Army, Winston wrote military reports for newspapers such as the Pioneer and the Daily Telegraph, and later 2 books, The Story of the Malacan Field Force in 1898 and the River War in 1899. Winston eventually left the Army in 1899 to become a war correspondent for the Morning Post, a daily newspaper. He was captured while reporting on the Boer War in South Africa and made headlines when he managed to escape traveling almost 300 miles. Upon his return home to Britain, Churchill wrote about his experiences in the book London to Ladysmith. Churchill started as a member of Parliament before becoming Prime Minister. He swapped political parties several times. He held various cabinet positions in Parliament, like the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Minister of Defence, Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, and many more. On May 10, 1940, Winston Churchill became Britain's Prime Minister, a dominant political figure who still received praise once the war was over and seen as a national hero. Churchill stood against Nazism, and this reminded everyone the reason for the war. He overcame a speech impediment to become was a wonderful orator, giving inspirational speeches to keep people's spirits up, and now has become a part of history. During World War II, Winston was a brilliant strategist and a hard-nosed diplomat who built the RAF Fighter Command to take on the German Luftwaffe. He worked closely with the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt and Russian leader Joseph Stalin. Britain soon had America and Russia on their side to help defeat Germany and its allies, Japan and Italy. Churchill was a brave man. He remained in London during the Blitz, a German campaign for bombing Britain. He could have easily escaped the dangers of the German bombers, yet decided to stay with those suffering. Winston Churchill's life was like one big adventure. He survived both world wars, became Britain's Prime Minister, made an honorary citizen by the Congress in the USA, and witnessed the crowning of Elizabeth II as Queen. He also wrote dozens of books, earning a Nobel Prize for Literature. For many people, his stubborn behavior and refusal to give up in World War II has given him a reputation few politicians ever achieved. Winston Churchill had done more than enough to be a person of worth.